The Upstate Golf Guys podcast is brought to you by Golfweek Amateur Tour, New York to Upstate, a national tour for all golfers and skill sets in its 31st year. We represent the New York Upstate region, and to join, visit amateurgolftour.net and click Join Now for the best amateur golf tour in the country. David Calise, with his beautiful home for rent in Saratoga Springs. This mansion is located on Airbnb. What a way to enjoy Saratoga with family and or friends on a vacation to golf, go to the horse track, or relax in this beautiful home. For more information, go online to Airbnb/H/mansion in Saratoga Springs for information. Northeastern Insurance Agency for all your insurance needs. Voted #1 insurance agency in the capital region in 2024 by the Times Union. For any insurance needs, call Jared at 518-956-3753. The Bunker Indoor Golf, located in over 7 locations across the capital region and host of our Golfweek Am Tour Winter League on Saturday mornings. From golfing on their state-of-the-art simulators or having a delicious meal with your friends or family, come on down and visit one of the Bunker locations. Visit them online, getinthebunker.golf. For more information of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast and their partners, visit upstategolfguys.com.
Welcome back to another episode of the Upstate Golf Guys podcast. We have our Sunday night golf week spotlight. Director of our tour, Adam Cahill, is with me. What's up, sir?
How you doing? Happy Sunday, everybody.
It's the Sunday before Christmas, so things are a little wild. They are wild. Adam, before we introduce our guests, I want you to tell my listeners what happened when you walked in our house tonight. Adam is coming in for our recording, and I have 2 beautiful little girls, and I was getting ready for our podcast, and I was in the kitchen getting ready. Supposedly. I was gonna. So Adam, real quick, just give a quick detail of what happened.
So we're in the kitchen talking, and we go to the bedroom where we have our podcast, and sure enough, your youngest was asking for some towels. And of course, you were wondering as a parent why your youngest is asking for a towel. And sure enough, she made water safari in the bathroom.
Water safari, to say the least, my man. And so I think she plugged up the sink, and the water has been running for a long time. And
it was like Home Alone 1.
It certainly was.
Wet Bandits.
It was a mess. The Wet Bandits. It was, but I just want everybody to know my struggles here in this household.
Well, that's why I decided not to have a child yet. At 41, I just deal with a dog.
Well, let's give your dog a shout out for a second.
We got my dog Zoe.
Your dog Zoe, the beautiful pup right there. Zoe is a beautiful little girl, and I love that name because I have a cat named Zoe. So
yeah, we find out that I was on YouTube the other day, and my dog is mainly husky. But it's not like a normal husky, so we found out that it's called a Sayoed.
Okay,
it's a Sayoed. It's a Siberian husky breed, and it's a mix between a Pomeranian and a husky. So good to you, Pomeranian, for taking that husky.
Nice. She's a beautiful pup. She's a beautiful pup, Adam. But listen, let's get into the episode. We have an awesome guest with us tonight. We have King David from the Kansas tour of the Golfweek Amateur Tour. What's up, David?
Hey, how you doing, fellas? Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Thanks for coming on, my man. Thanks for coming on.
For sure.
Well, first off, as a director, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and when you started your tour?
Yeah. Okay. Just started out, I wasn't much of a golfer growing up through school or anything. And as an adult, you know how we kind of pick it up, doing it, starting out. And I started the tour. A friend of mine, Jesse, he was on the tour about 6 years ago. maybe 7 actually. And I was curious what he was doing, because I didn't figure my golf game and a golf tour went in the same sentence. But he, I was seeing that, he was winning a tournament or two, and got me interested in checking it out. And then I realized you're just competing against guys about your own quality. And then after that year in 21, it came available where the other director bowed out, and I was able to take over. So this will be my 5th year coming up.
Oh, wow.
Nice, man. Nice. Now, what kind of growth have you had over the years from when you started until now?
5th year, we've grown, not as much as I'd like as far as the percentage, but it has grown each year. A little as far as number of rounds for sure. Membership, it's grown just a little bit, but the number of rounds has grown a pretty good, percentage each year.
That's what's important, man.
Yeah,
That's what's important, sure.
for sure. And then the others getting the word out and just continuing to keep it growing.
Absolutely, man. Word of mouth is what it's all about. So now I know Kansas. Adam, were they the ones chirping a little bit? Kansas?
Yeah. We had Shannon. I'm sure Dave was aware of Shannon Loveridge. I know he had conversations with him, and it was like 3 weeks before nationals. Shannon was telling me that he was talking smack to Kansas, and, and I was at first I was upset because it's like, how dare they? Well, then we were at the directors meeting, and sure enough, I sit down with my wife, and Dave sat next to me, and he goes, "Hey, I'm Dave from Kansas," and I said, "Oh, Kansas, you're Kansas, all right."
Yeah. That's something we do on our tour. We got a great camaraderie with all our players and members, and just some fun smack talk. But a lot of them, are on the other side of it. They're there to support in any way they can as well.
Absolutely, Dave.
Yeah,
How many guys did you have go down to Hilton Head this year?
We had about 12, I believe it was.
Nice.
12 of us. Yep.
Nice.
We're going to try to grow that this year, hopefully, and that's a great time. Those 3 rounds. I look forward to it, but I hate it that's the end of the season. You're always looking forward to that next tournament.
Yes, yeah, I hear you. Especially for you said earlier before we started the podcast, you're more in like the Kansas City, Missouri area, so exactly what we go through from December through May, where it's cold and blistery. Do you guys do simulator golf down there inside?
Yeah, some. We had one of our sponsors was X Golf, and they, that's what they do. And so we had our opening season party there, and some of the guys utilize that in the winter. But I'll do some little two-man scrambles or something after the nationals, in November, December, if we happen to get decent weather, which we've got up, some 50-degree weekends. So we'll throw something like that together just for fun.
Sure.
And then, and then in March this year, where we usually don't start till that first week in April, which in April, you just never know what you're going to get around here. And then now we're going even earlier this year with the 3rd week of March is when we'll be kicking it off our first major.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you guys have a little bit of an early spring than we do. We usually by Easter, we start feeling a little bit more.
Yeah, we get the itch. We get the itch by Easter for sure.
Yeah.
Right now, I think it's 5 degrees outside in New York.
Ugh, it's miserable.
We were about 32 today, but it was 50 a couple of days ago, so you just never know.
Yeah,
but
that's what we look forward to in New York. We have one course that's open all year round, Mohawk River.
Shout out Mohawk.
Once it's like no snow and it's at least 40, that place gets slammed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, cart cover and Mr. Heater, and you're good to go.
That's it. Yeah. You just walk and just wear 7 layers and barely swing your clubs because you're like the kid from the Christmas Story.
Yeah,
you got it.
There's a few snowy patches, and we have winter rules over there at Mohawk River. It's a lot of fun though, man. But Adam's right. By Easter, we're really itching to get out there. Man.
For
the 4th year now, I've been running the New York Upstate, and when I first started, the indoor golf actually was a huge part of the tour, because after the season ended, most of the guys are sad. They don't really play. They don't even consider indoor.
Right.
So I've been utilizing that as a way to, introduce the tour, advertise the tour. I think this past week we had 20 guys that played over in an indoor location.
Nice.
We got the bunker, which has 7 locations in our area for indoor golf, and we're going to be getting 24 to 28 guys on a Saturday basis, and they're going to be able to advertise for us. So the indoor golf for New York has been huge, and getting the word out.
That's great.
Yeah.
Sure is, man. Sure is. So, Dave, I have a question for you.
Right.
What would you tell like my listeners? I have listeners nationwide. I have a lot of guests in the golf community that have been on. What would you tell some of my listeners that are on the fence, thinking about joining the tour, regardless of their location? Like, what would you say to my listeners, buddy?
All it took for me, and I tell everybody, I'm like, just come try one, just come check it out. I don't think a lot of people really think, what it's going to be like. They maybe don't think their game's where it needs to be, or that kind of thing. But if you've got it can be. It's so much fun. I'm telling you, it's if you're a competitive person and you like golf, it's a no brainer to me. I mean. I guess there's people that maybe just don't like that kind of thing and just want to go out and play
Right,
leisurely, and that's fine. But it's a great time, and I love it, and I got there's always chances to make a little money, and
Yep.
all that fun stuff. So and then when your game's on point, and maybe win a tournament or two. So just an absolute blast as for an adult to be an adult and that my age and not doing any basketball or anything like that anymore. And
Yeah.
it's just a fantastic game, and to be able to compete against others, and that's what we try to do on my tour. I try to mirror the PGA's pretty much as far as our majors. We've got we do all 5 majors. That first tournament in March will be the player or the Golfweek Kansas Players Tournament or whatever. So anyway, that'll be our highest prize person of the year, just kind of like the PGA's is. And
Yep.
then we go into the Masters 1st of April, first part of April, and another 2-day tournament with the Green Jackets awarded to each flight member. So
Nice.
just try to work it up like that. Try to have a lot of season-long contests with each flight, long drive, most birdies and just things like that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I mean, what, the one thing I was thinking about today, I don't know if you watched the PNC Championship. What a ending between Tiger
Wow.
and his son, and then
Just wow.
Bernard Langer. But they were talking about how Tiger. I mean, we all know Tiger Woods is probably, if not the best golfer that has ever played the game.
Right.
But I feel like today, while I was watching it, it reminded me of how like the Golfweek Am Tour is because when Tiger plays in the PGA Tour, it's all business, and I mean it's very serious. But today he just he was having a good time, but he was competitive at the same time.
Right.
And that's what I love most about the Golfweek Am Tour is because you do have that competitive nature. You get out there regardless of your skill set. You got the 5 flights, but you're having a blast because some of the guys that are playing on ours, their father, son, or family members, best friends. And that's what I love most about the tour, both my region as well as going to nationals. I mean, you meet so many guys, and it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
You're at the range or you're at the putting green or you're in the clubhouse signing up,
Yep.
and guys are just happy to be there, shaking your hand. They introduce themselves. It's just one big family throughout the entire country, and that's what I love most about it.
100%, Adam. Camaraderie and on our tour, we talk about it all the time. And our champ flight players will stick around and help the D flight guys if they want. And it's just a great time.
Yeah, I mean, that's great to hear because, champ flight guys, I know that I don't know if you have anybody in your tour that has won any nationals in champ flight, but I know Charlotte had Joe Jaspers. But seeing some of those guys, I've been playing for a long time, and when I went down to champ flight, you sit at the range and somebody's doing something, you ask them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's what I'm doing. I'll show you quick. Grab a ball, grab a club."
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
you're not scared to approach everybody.
Correct. Yeah, the champ flight's been a tough one for us to grow. Yeah, but I would put my my 4 champ flight guys that I do have. We've got it up to 4 that come pretty consistent, and they'll for instance, one time there were 3 of them were in a tournament, and it went into a playoff with 2 of them, and the other one just missed out on it from chipping in a shot. It hit the stick and landed right next to it. So they're always close in battle, and I'd put them up against all of them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dave, I've spoken about this with Adam, off the record. I understand how hard it probably is to grow those champ flight golfers because I'm a C golfer. I started in D, and D and C, we have a huge community. But as you get up to the higher flights, those groups get smaller and smaller. And what it is, I mean, It's hard. The golf is a hard game. Golf is a hard game, and to get those champ flight golfers,
it's just the champ flight and the A flight are so close that you could, like, right now I'm a 3.1, but even if I'm a 3.9, I'm in champ flight, and then one score I'm at a 4, and then 1 or 2 events later I'm back to a champ. So I mean, as a champ in A flight, you could be back and forth.
Sure.
So that's one thing that the champ, it's just so tight between the champ and A that a lot of the guys are just on that A cusp. Because a lot of guys are not, it's hard to meet somebody who's below a 4 handicap. I mean, who's consistently shooting a 76 or better. So that's what makes it, for New York as well. We have a lot of guys who play on the tour in our champ flight. I think last year we had 16 total in our champ flight, which, obviously I would love to have 50, but a lot of the guys, they're just right between champ and A. I mean, their average, I think, is like a 3.6.
Right.
3 away from me. And then, but our B, C's, and D's are loaded.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys. I'm in the same boat. I'm in that B, C, right on that borderline sometimes. I'll, play good for a little bit, and it'll, creep me up to a B just before nationals, and then I'm stuck there.
Yeah. So what flight are you in, David?
B right now, but I think I've grown. I'm after nationals. I think I'm back up over a 14 or a 15. So
yeah. Nationals was a tough time, man. That was miserable for me down there. That was my first experience on Bermuda grass, and I'll tell you. I'll tell you what, David. It was freaking nightmare for me.
Okay. I may have seen you out there. I don't remember, but yeah.
Okay, I'm in the Northeast here, and I'm used to the bent grass, and we get nice chunky divots on a miss, and the ball will still go a little bit when we have a rough shot. But when you hit a bad miss on that Bermuda, buddy, holy cow!
It can be a painful thing, and then you can drop another ball at will and hit it good, like it wasn't nothing if you had to.
Exactly.
The thing for me, I love Bermuda. I love down south. I love the golf courses. I love the layouts. For me, it's the bunkers. The bunkers in New York, you get so much spin because it hits the green, and then for the down south, I've noticed that when you hit a bunker shot, you really just got to get it on the green because it will roll.
For me. Yeah, for me, it's the difference is when I go to nationals is getting it in my head, the distance being at sea level, the ball's not, my 9-iron's not going 150 like it, 150 like it should, or like it normally would. And I'm like, dang. So it took me a while to get that into my head.
Yeah. Or and the breaks are different than our green. So, you'll sit there and you get frustrated because you think that you have like a 3-cup right to left, and then it pretty much was just almost straight in. You're like, how is this possible? I would have made that in New York. And
so, David, for some of my listeners out there on the West Coast, what are some of the nicest courses that you have to offer on tour, man?
Like in the Midwest where I'm at.
Sure.
Yeah. So, in one of our regionals will be, I'd welcome everybody to come to Branson, Missouri. That's going to be a regional that Dennis has asked me to start taking over. I'll do it with him this year, and then I'll take that over. But
nice.
They've got some great courses there with Ozark National, Tigers course, Buffalo Ridge. They're all just, any of them you play, they're just sweet. In Kansas City, you've got which we had a tournament this past season at a private club. They let us on finally called the National Tom Watson course. And then it's got a sister course there with it. It used to be called the Deuce, but now it's called the Bluffs. But those are a couple of the real, nice courses, right locally here in the area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Is your regional the July or the June 30th and July 1?
Yes, that right then. Yep, right before the 4th.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now on the on the Am Tour page. So it looks nice courses there.
Yeah. That's where I went down 2 years ago. Yeah. 2 years ago, went down in the sea flight and shot my best ever round as a sea fighter. They paired me for whatever reason. I think because I was a director, and they say you get to go in whatever group you need to go in. So I was with 3 B players that played one of my best rounds ever, shooting an 80. And then you know how hard it is to follow up a round when to do well again. And day 2, I shot an 84 to win the regional by 1 stroke, and that was just that is just a trip to me because that just totally would not have expected that.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you got a regional though this year. That's good.
Yeah,
Really cool, man.
that was great. And then this year, walking out to nationals, out my door, I missed the last step going out, and I fall into the table next to my door. Didn't know it until I got back. I had a knee replacement the Wednesday after nationals. I had a knee replacement, so I had to do an X-ray and they saw that I had a cracked 8th and 10th rib. So when I went out to nationals, I drove out there, couldn't hardly breathe. Played a practice round in Greenville at my buddy's. We stopped at his son's and played at their country club. And it was bothering me. For the next day over in Hilton Head, we did a practice round, and every swing I took, I had to yell out, scream because it was just a sharp pain. But anyway, by that night, something happened where something adjusted to where I was able to swing and not get that stab. And got to, Friday shot a 103. Saturday came in with a 93. And then Sunday, a 92. And I was on my 89th of 90th hole of the week. Par 3, and did a hole in one with a skin worth $600.
Hey, congrats, man! Congrats on that. That's
great.
awesome.
That was pretty wild.
Great.
Yeah,
That's memorable. That's definitely a memory.
Well, I
man.
mean, the thing that he mentioned is that he made a skin, and how much was it?
$600.
$600, and I think there was 4 skins for that day for your flight.
Well, that one day there was 3, I believe. Yeah, 1,800. It was like $1,800 in the pot for that round.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, you had probably not your best rounds that you've had at nationals, but you made yourself $600. That basically covered most of your national entry. So those skins that's fun to play those because it just takes one big shot, but a hole in one.
I've had members that have gotten skins at nationals, and I've always wanted one. And about the 6th hole or so, I was on the number 1 handicap on Sunday, and like a 420-yard par 4, which is long for
Dave,
me.
What course was this on Sunday?
Oh gosh, shoot! I knew you was going to ask me that. I'd have to look. Palmetto. I think it was Palmetto Dunes.
One of the Palmetto Dunes. Maybe I'll help out there.
Anyhow, so it was, but it was hole number 1, I know, and it was the number 1 handicap.
Nice.
And I birdied it about like a 200-yard shot in. I'd never got about 7 foot downhill. Wouldn't make that one out 100 times, and made it. And I thought, boom, that's a skin, and it held up for a long time. And then so I almost had 2. So it's funny that I shoot an eagle and a birdie and shoot a 92.
That's awesome, man. I had 1 birdie at nationals. It was day 2. Beautiful course. It was the private one we played out. That was like 40 minutes off the island, Adam. But it was like it was the last par 3. And it was the pin was tucked in the back left corner, really tough hole. And those greens were miserable. Miserable as in fast and so hard. But I put a nice birdie putt in at him, like a nice 25-footer. I sunk it. Man, and so, of course, me, as I finished, or I think might have been the end of the round, and there was a nice young female running the computer, the laptops, and I couldn't see Adam, but I said, was my birdie good for a skin on, I think it was hole 17 or 16 or whatever, and she's like, no, there was two birdies. And I was like,
a lot of those skins down in nationals are interesting because most of them are eagles, but sometimes you can squeeze in a birdie on a par 3 and it could win, or even a par 3. I think our skins game, hole 10, was a par 4 that I just missed my 5-footer.
You were
and then the second to last group birdied number 10 for the only skin of $2,500.
Huge money. Huge money. Yeah, but Dave Adam came in after that. I remember I was actually there for like the party. It was, I believe it was check-in, and it was check-in for the night, and it was at the same spot the skin game was, right, Adam?
Yeah.
Adam came in. I'm so sick. He's like, I just missed a 5.5-footer for huge money.
It went around the whole entire hole, and I couldn't believe it. I had 7 birdies on the skins game. And 5 of the 7, only one other person birdied that particular hole. So it was like, oh, come on.
Golf is a tough game, man. Golf is a tough game.
So much.
Dave, let's give my sponsors a quick shout out, and then we'll be back to
you got it.
Close this episode out, guys.
Sounds good.
Hey, Mikey, you know anybody does any roofing?
Actually, I do, Raj.
Who you got for me, man?
Dude named Tom Murphy did my boss's roof. Actually does hands-on work.
Gets right up there on the roof, huh? The owner of the
Yeah, he
company?
does. Knows his shit, too.
That's awesome, man. Is this Thomas Paul Construction?
Yep, that's him.
Man, I heard nothing but good things about them. I'm actually on their Facebook page right now looking up some things. The pictures, the aerial view, they're really cool. He gets up there with the drone. You can see the before and afters of some of the work they've done. Go check them out on Facebook. They're a new sponsor here, the Upstate Golf Guys. So make sure you guys go support Thomas Paul Construction, roofing and siding. Thomas Paul Construction LLC is a full-service construction company who specializes in roofing and siding, covering the greater capital region. You can reach them at 518-308-6794. Once again, 518-308-6794. And make sure to go check out their Facebook page, see some pictures of what they've done in the past, and let them know the Upstate Golf Guys sent you.
All right. We are back after the intermission with King David. All right, buddy. So what would you say to members over there in Kansas that have been with you for a long time and part of the family? What right now, man, the mic is yours. You got some thanking to do?
Yeah, I couldn't think there's an incredible core group that we have that, you know what I'm talking about, Adam, where you've got your players that'll come, 15 to 20 rounds, a season or whatever. So they're regulars every week. And yeah, you can't thank them enough. And they know what we're trying to build. And it's just, how they'll bring in some others that get that addiction is what I call it. I've got some guys that live South Missouri, which it's 3 hours away, and he brought in a guy, and they're coming every week. So that's all it takes is each member to bring one or two guys, and you've got it a great thing going and can keep building it. But I've got everybody I'm sure thinks they've got the best members, and it's you go out to nationals and you see every tour's got some awesome people, and I've played rounds with guys, and it's just always great meeting new players.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, I mean, like he said, I mean, for me, starting, he was 5 years. I'm going on my fourth year. I mean, obviously, if everybody who's consistently coming each and every year or is consistently playing each and every year, or if you are new and you're going to become a member, if you just simply just told one or two people and even just got one, you can double, you can triple, your memberships. Then that allows you bigger tournaments, more money. I mean, the tour is literally in my 35 years of playing golf, competitively, probably 20. I mean, this without a doubt is the best tour I've ever played on. Not only because when you do tee off, when you're in those ropes, as they call it on the PGA Tour, but from the time you tee off to the time you finish, I mean, you're looking at the leaderboard, you're looking at the live scoring, you're looking at your skins, you're trying to play well, but at the same time, you're having a great time. But you know how it's like when you're playing golf. You're like, wow, I'm only one back. I'm going to start being serious. So, it feels like the PGA Tour. You got the signs, you got the banners, you got the registration table, the live scoring, and it's so exciting fun. No matter what. Like I tell that story all the time when I played in Myrtle Beach for the first time and I was introduced to it. I won my first two events and I loved it. But, one of the things that I remember most is the guy who was in his 70s and he played golf for most of his life, never actually did anything, joined the Myrtle Beach Tour for the first time, won his first D flight. And the guy thought he won the British Open. He was, he was buying everybody drinks. He was filling up his trophy. He was partying. He was dancing. Much. So, it was probably the most exciting thing he had. And, he shot like 102, but it didn't matter because he was in deep flight and that's all you play with. So that's the cool thing about the tour is that you're not worrying about, the champ flight guy. You just play however many are in your flight.
Yeah, and it is a great feeling when you do win one. Because it's not that easy. You can just have 5-6 people in your flight. It's not easy just to go out and win. So it feels great.
It does. And holding that trophy up, I mean, I've won. So I started in D flight. I was like a 21 when I started the tour. I was always just a hacker and never took things serious. But Adam invited me to this tour and said, you should try it out. Great group of guys. So I started taking golf a little more serious, and I moved from a 21, and now I'm a proud 15.9, I believe, on paper on tour, and I'm in C flight, and it's a great thing for the golf community and for golf for throughout the nation, man. It's awesome. I literally I have a little business. Well, I shouldn't have said, my dad does. We've been in business 52 years, but it's a convenience store in a state office building. But I see, the same 500-600 people a day, and I tell all my customers how great this tour is because there's a shot for everybody for all levels to go out there and win a trophy, Adam, to win a little bit of cash. I literally just had a girl looking at the Lombardi putters. I have them in the little corner, and I said she was going to buy a putter for her boyfriend, and I said, how good is your boyfriend at golf? And she was like, he's pretty good. He's a lot better than me. We play casual golf. And I said, let me introduce you to the Golfweek Amateur Tour, and I gave her one of your cards, and I said, what numbers does he normally shoot? And she's like, oh, in the 80s. I said, so he would probably start right off the bat in C flight. I said, we play all rules, ball to the hole, no gimmies. So she seemed very interested, Adam, and she's like, oh, this is something that my boyfriend would love, I think. So just that competitive golf, the idea of being able to win a little cash, it being a tour, you could literally go on and you could see your name and points and a points race. I tell everybody there's nothing like it. Anybody that loves the game of golf, just join. It's really actually a very reasonable entry. What's King David? What's your price for Kansas if you want to join over in Kansas?
King David.
Right now we're through the end of the year. I think we're at $90 plus. I think it's like $3 card fee or something.
Sure.
So that's $93 or something. And then at first of the year, I think it goes up to 105 or 110, something like that.
And I tell everybody, that is questioning this tour, there's no commitment, and that's what I love about this tour. Zero commitments. Yeah. So you're a member, you pay your membership. Now nationwide, you could play an event anywhere. That's the best thing about this thing, and what I love, and what Dennis created. If I'm traveling down to Florida in the middle of our cold, miserable months, he's got events going. They got events going on normally, or down in the it's just so you could play any event nationwide.
Yeah, we have the regionals that are huge, and then you have some of the southern states that start in after icebreakers. I think some of their season starts in the end of January.
Yep.
February.
Yeah, I've got some guys going out to Vegas for the January region.
Sure. Yeah, like we have the icebreaker at January 4th in Hilton Head at Harbor Town, and then there's the Vegas one, and then there's one in Myrtle Beach for the the 4-ball, which is a fun team play. It's kind of like the PNC, but except best ball. And then you got him down at TPC Scottsdale. He's got Innisbrook. He's got Firestone. Yeah. So, I mean, you can play in the regionals. You can go to a location that is just a normal region, and you can play. That's what I like about it. And
so much fun.
And $90 is not much. I mean, that's what we charge right now is $90, and Kansas is charging.
And you get $50 in merchandise back from the pro shop.
That's like ridiculous. Practically free.
You get some sweet. I love those belts they got. But one other thing I was going to mention about new players and what have you. You mentioned you started as a plus 21. I meet a lot of people that are like, I don't want to get nervous. I don't want to be out there and whiff one or whatever. But I've got A players. I tell them that'll get up there on the first tee box sometimes and top it or whatever. And so it just everybody we all do it, and it's just part of it, and it's a good time.
I remember the first tournament I ever had it, as I mentioned it before on some of the other podcasts, but we played a course Saratoga spot with my first event as a director, and obviously I was excited. I set it up the day before. I had everything set. I was pumped, and we had a large field. I believe we had 49 that event, which was good for the first event. And I remember people checking in, going to the range, coming back before we got in the carts for the shotgun. And everybody just looked tense and tight. Everybody was, and I told the guys, I said, listen, guys, you guys are all real tight. I said, we're here to have fun. Everybody's going to meet new guys today. You're going to have nerves. You're going to have butterflies. It doesn't matter if you whiff one off the tee, if you top one, who cares? We're all here to have a good time. And at the end of the day, It's not about the trophy. It's just about, just enjoying yourself, enjoying the investment and competing. And then by like the second round, everybody was chill. Everybody was relaxed. And, that's what it's all about. I mean, you're going to have nerves. I mean, Tiger has nerves. He said it today.
Oh, yeah.
He has butterflies still in the
He
first
sure does.
hole. So you're going to get butterflies. So don't make the excuse of not playing in the tour because you're nervous.
Yep.
Just like you said, Dave, just come out and try it. I mean,
right. And that's what's great about it. That one moment in time, that shot, that's what matters. I'll miss a 3-foot putt all day.
Yeah, exactly. And then the nice
Yep.
thing too is that Dennis does a great job with the triple bogey max. So obviously some people might have different questions about it, but at the end of the day, we're out there not to be out there for 7 hours and 8 hours, but
that was one thing we were known for around, as far as the different amateur tours around the city and whatever, and others. Some of the guys play on both, and we finished well. Of course, if it's a tee times, our champ flight will sometimes start off first and they'll get done quicker, but they finished in 3 hours and 45 minutes one tournament. And on an average, we finished everybody in about 4 hours and 30 minutes and 4 hours and 20 for a tournament. That's really good.
Yeah, exactly.
Super
and then
good.
It's also good for guys who are, seasoned D-flight guys because, obviously a majority of I think the worldwide average is like 98 total. Like that's your 98 is the score now world. Yeah, but the triple bogey is nice because you can have like hole one, you have the nerves, you're like, oh, I'm scared.
Right.
You bang 2 out of bounds, who cares? Pick up your ball,
right.
Drink, go to the next hole. Now you're +3. Who cares? Now you can par a hole or two, and you're right back in it.
Right.
So that's what's fun about that.
I love how Adam
keeps everybody competitive.
You know what, Dave? You know what I love about Adam?
What's that?
He always makes the game of golf sound so easy.
Yeah, he's out there throwing down.
I told Adam I was complaining about one thing. It was a golf course where they had white stakes like the whole course. I forgot the exact course, and I was putting them out of bounds like the whole course. And I went back, of course, complaining to the director, which you probably get a bunch of complaints, and I'm sure everybody gets complaints. But I said, Adam, this course fucking sucks. Excuse me. I said I was pissed off about all the white stakes. You know what Adam's answer was? One of my favorite answers from Adam. Adam, what did you say to me?
Keep it in the fairway.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and that's what's great about golf. There's sometimes even us BC players like myself, you'll be rolling along and you throw together 5 or 6 pars and you're 2 over after 7 or 8. And you're thinking, this is the day I'm going in the 70s, and then sure enough, triple, double.
Use my fart noise, but
for me, I like to keep the game simple. I mean, I have had a lot of guys who I will just sit and watch as a director. Sometimes you're at the table and you're checking people in and there's nobody at the time, and you just look around, see some guys chipping and putting, who are struggling, and you just simply go up to them and say, listen, I said, I watch you chip. I don't know why you're taking a half a swing on a chip. Just bring it back and power through it. And they're just like, wait, what? And they try it. And now they're better chippers. Or, some of the champ guys, he was struggling with hitting a draw on a fade. I said, grip your right hand light to hit a draw. And if you want to hit a fade, grab your right hand and squeeze harder and it fades. And he was hitting left and right on command. And that's like easy game. Like
easy game. Sure, Adam. Real easy. Sure.
I accept credit card.
Right.
Just get the face on the ball.
Yeah, I love I love being a director. It's exciting. I do it for the game of golf. I do it for you guys. I do it for Dave. I do it for Dennis. I do it for all the other directors. To do our best to really grow this nationally, and it's a great time. That's if you're listening,
just
remember
time.
It's just for fun. This whole tour is just to meet new guys, have a great time, meet some awesome directors at nationals, go to different courses you normally wouldn't play. I don't know if Dave, you offer like private courses, but New York has private courses. So that's, exciting because some people just can't play on those. Some people wouldn't even think about it who are like a 20+ handicap.
Sure.
They're like, no way, I'm going to go play this private course. I'm just going to But they go, now they have the chance and make money and not have to worry about making tee times.
For sure.
It is nice with you guys setting the tee times up. Everything is ready to go. There's golf carts with our names on them. Sometimes you're sitting with a stranger that you may not know, but you're always making friends on the Golfweek Amateur Tour. And that's one of my favorite things about this thing, Adam. And I'll say it over and over and over again. The friendships and the camaraderie that is made on tour is like no other.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dave experiences that as well.
No, it is. It's 100%. That's a lot of the guys say that repetitively, but just meeting the other people on the tour and just the friendships they've established or relationships outside of here. It's huge.
1,000%.
And the one thing too, I don't know if Dave's experienced it, but whenever you go to an actual golf course, do you have the actual course tell you, "Wow, you guys really make it easier for us"?
Oh,
They
100%.
don't do
100%.
anything. They
Yeah.
just sit there and
Yeah.
like,
Yeah. My daughter is a big part of that. Nicole, you guys probably know Nicole from the Nationals. She helps the Nationals. But yeah, having the cart signs already ready for, they don't have to do anything at the course. And the scorecards are all marked out and ready to go. And yeah,
Golfweek Am Tour knows what they're doing.
solid.
They sure do.
It's funny because you are sitting there at the registration table at the golf course and they ask you, "Hey, do you need help with close to the pin? Do you need help with this?" And you're like, "No, we got it." And they're like, "Oh." And then you finally get there and you're sitting at the table and they just awkwardly come up to you and be like, did you need anything from us?" And it's like, "No, we're good." And he goes, oh, okay.
Yeah, maybe think about that next time and give us a little cut on the price.
There you go. There you go. All right. Before we close the episode out, I have to ask you, have you heard of my favorite person and one of our biggest supporters since this podcast started, Lombardi Golf? Have you heard about him yet?
I've heard some of you guys talking about it.
All right, I'm going to throw out this commercial for your listeners. We're due for a new commercial, and I think Adam is going to do it with his beautiful voice. And there's some new putters on, but I want your listeners to check out what he has to offer. And it's seriously.
Do you struggle with putting?
He has an amazing.
Grab yourself a Lombardi.
He has an amazing line of putters for a very, very reasonable price. But I'm gonna throw out this commercial for your listeners to check out, and we'll finish it off at the end.
Sounds good.
Find your perfect putter and join the Lombardi family. Whether you have lead hands, the face on the TC PL22 takes the speed off the ball at impact. Or are you the type that leave putt short? You can try the PC308. It has the weight you need to make it to the hole. You will find that Lombardi has something special for everyone's particular putting stroke. The 1985 is not only the most affordable club, but is the most beautiful. With a sharp red zinc alloy head and a steeples shaft. The Nasso 66 is one of the best-selling mallets on the market. It has a clean straight line finish to help guide your eye through the ball, straight to the target line. The head with a clean black mallet finish and a 60-gram mate shaft and a Lombardi 3.0 crown grip. You want a custom logo? Lee over at Wedge FX has you covered. But if you want to spend a little more money and make some magic happen, try out the new Diamond Mallet Putter. It's an absolute gem. This is a one-of-a-kind design and is available in the Lombardi Custom Shop. This head is made from a futuristic, top-secret metal. It has the center shaft which prevents pushes and pulls, and it is by far the most forgiving putter in the Lombardi Custom family. Head over to lombardigolf.com and use Upstate at checkout for a hefty discount, or reach out to the Upstate Golf guys as we are local representatives for Lombardi Golf. Okay, Adam, champ flight golfer, I need to know your thoughts and tell all the Kansas listeners your thoughts of Lombardi putters and that diamond putter, because you own one. So go ahead, spit it real quick.
Well, I mean, if you're a golfer that plays all the time or scratch, or if you're a high handicap and you're looking for something that's affordable, they have different varieties of putting. They're all pretty solid overall. I have the diamond, which is like, I don't know, Dave, you haven't seen a diamond, but it's basically a triangle behind it's like a center. It's almost like a lab putter, but very, very consistent. Comes in cool customized colors. There's a lot of different styles, but I find that regardless of what type of golfer you are, if you're looking for something where you don't want to break the bank, Lombardi is definitely top-notch quality for the price, and well worth it. I've tried a lot of them, and none of them haven't really been a disappointment.
Right.
So they all do the trick. As I was telling you before, I said it doesn't matter what type of putter you put in my hand. It all comes down to confidence, and it comes down to the feel. And for me, it's not so much like a putter that has like a lot of lines on it for aim. My putter, I pick a putter based on roll. So
Yep. And if any of your guys want a putter, make sure you shoot me a message and I could
I'll
take
check them out. Yeah, I've got some.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I've got some different contests I run where I could maybe use putters as a prize or something. But yeah,
Sure. Absolutely. I'll take good care of you. Awesome, man. All right, Dave. Listen, we're going to wrap this thing up tonight. Really appreciate you taking the time. I know your time is valuable. It's the holidays. Everybody's busy right now.
yeah.
Happy New Year to you. I wish you the best success for 2025 season.
Same with you guys, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
we'll get to a tournament and meet each other and hopefully play around together.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's on for 2025 Nationals. We're kicking Kansas's ass, man.
You don't want it. You don't want it.
We want it. Just before we close, remember, all those who are listening, amateurgolftour.net is the website. And for those who are listening, please take 5 seconds and just share, email, share on Facebook, social media pages, share, because social media and the word of mouth is going to make both Kansas and New York top dogs in the country. So
absolutely is. Sharing is huge, please. Yeah. And Adam, one more time, I love closing it out for the details of the tour. Why don't you read it down?
All right. So the Golfweek Amateur Tour, throughout the entire nation, all directors are, taught the same things. We're very consistent. We all love the game. We got live scoring, trophies, prize money, side games. There's no commitments. You play as many events as you would like. There's no gin needed. If you don't have an actual gin or a handicap, you can put what you think you are, and we adjust you as you play. We have a national championship in Hilton Head every October, and myself and Dave and Anthony can all tell you it's the most fantastic 3 days that you'll ever experience in golf.
Absolutely.
And we got Champ Flight, from Champ Flight through Scratch to 3.9 all the way to our D Flight, which is 19 or above.
Yep.
Just come out and check it out. We have a great time. It's an amazing tour, and you will not regret anything about joining. No matter where you're listening from, check amateurgolftour.net and find all the regions that are located near you, and sign up and start playing.
That's it.
That's awesome.
All right, Dave.
King David
again. Thank you again. And thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode